Alrighty, guys, we are in with a very exciting matchup, and we're gonna be starting off with with Vicinal versus Eternal. So two very good teams to their respective region. That might be a slight understatement, but very, very good teams for their respective regions. So really excited to see what we're gonna be looking at today. Gonna be starting out with Eternal's pick here, which is the Cenobite on Dead Dog Saloon, and gonna be finding that box really early. Nothing new for any good Cenobite player on this map. And going for a mind game on main does find G-Bot a little bit out of position here, so not going to be able to make this window. And crowd control is been revealed to the survivors. They have a fast fall to this window, so this window is now blocked until they get rid of that Hex Totem. G-Bot taking a chain here on the backside of the main building, so not able to use that window any longer. We'll just play downstairs. And Zaka tracking him to downstairs, but not able to hit that chain, so he is going to make this filler pallet here, and it looks like it's just going to completely walk away, but turns around at the last second to go for this down on this pallet. G-Bot choosing to die underneath it, doing the wave motion. Background player is allowed, so imagine that there is somebody waiting nearby. Does find Zero, and he's going to walk all the way back to this pickup. Does grab him. Will they get this pallet save? And no, they will not. That will be the first coming through, the first pain res as well, and a free tag on Degree. So, and with that chain hitting, that is going to be the deep wound status being put onto Zero, meaning he will not be able to reset as quickly, and he will not be able to immediately do gens. He will have to fully mend before he can do either of those two things. Sees that generator that Slash is working on. Very progressed, going to pop. But we also find Adam here, so we know that all three survivors are over here, and that means that most likely there's no real other gen pressure on any of these generators. And that is kind of not what you really want to see. You kind of want there to be at least one or two more gens on the way for this first hook stage and for the second stage. But G-Bot is getting very close to that second stage here, and he still does not, we still do not have any other gens really progressed, so, I'm not certain, I'm not certain if they're resetting, but they are resetting, so that, that does come through. And we do see Slash trying to work this main building generator, but Zaka is going to be able to harass it with chains here. We also are seeing the box getting solved across the map, so really, lack of efficiency here from our survivors, just not having any gen pressure, not having crowd control cleanse yet. The only thing that has happened is the reset coming through here. Otherwise, with that first gen being done, there's just not a lot on the map here, so Adam going for this pull is going to get it for free-ish. He is going to give a tag, but the chase is now on the G-Bot, and I was going to say he's going to need to either dodge this chain or do what he did, which is essentially last and give his teammates a little bit of time here. Flash gets reset, but if there's not somebody here to give a hit tank, I think that the survivor is dead, and they are not under a pallet. So, that is just going to be the death coming out on a G-Bot at 4 generators. Really not what you want to see. But that is the situation the survivors have found themselves in, so they're going to have to find a way to work around it and see what kind of result they can get. Find some pressure on the Gallows generator, but not really enough to concern the killer. Sees a survivor running on the backside of the main building, but this main building generator is not really progressed either. Misses a skill check trying to get off of it. And the box is being solved. Zaka is just going to teleport to it and take this chase. Sees it as a little bit more worth it. Not going for that vault. Gree kind of saving the window vault with crowd control being in play still. And goes to this pallet instead, which is not really that great. And will be taking a tag, going to the main building. Plays the backside of the main building, I believe, unless he just completely doubled back. But with crowd control still up, I don't know if it's even worth it to play this main building because all the windows are just permanently blocked. So right now, Gree's just playing his distance. And hits that really nice long chain that is going to be Gree being put into the deep wound. And looks over to the gallows generator, but I don't think sees any continued progress there. So going to walk up into main and go for the pressure onto Slash here on this main building generator. And does just dry kick it. I guess just trying to buy a little bit of time before he commits to this chase on the 3-0. And he's going to go for that vault, but going to take the tag through it. And that door is broken, so this is really not a safe town anymore. Going to go to front main. They do pop one more generator. And runs through it, trying to do what G-Bot did earlier. And the down will occur more or less in the same way. So we are going to be seeing another pain res, I think, unless that generator on main pops. It's very close. But not able to make it. Does miss the chain, so he will have to walk up to the top of main and pressure this survivor off the generator. Bronzy solving in the distance, so Killer kind of has an idea of where both survivors are. Is walking down. Slash right now gets the chain, which will waste a little bit more of his time, and he can kind of just sit up here and patrol this generator. Until that survivor comes in for the rescue, but Slash making a slight blunder does get tagged there. And hits Ace's BT, does not get the tag onto Adam. But I think our killer really wants to get a 4K3 here, basically. Because he is just keeping a close eye on this main building generator, knowing that if he can get some tags, if he can get some pressure, get some more downs, get a pain res, that he will completely wipe that generator, and there will be no way for them to pop anything else. Adam, I believe, using his lithe here to get to the other side of the map. And they have just abandoned the main building generator for now to get a reset going. But when this down comes through, that is just going to be another pain res, and that will wipe out all that gen pressure they had on main. So once again, I think we're going to be seeing pretty much all of our generators being put back to 0. And you're going to have to go through the whole process again of getting those generators back up and trying to pop them, because this generator took so long. It was 99 more or less, and it is now all the way back to maybe 30%, if that. So we do find the Ada here. Green never did get reset, so he is still injured somewhere across the map. And that unknown does come through. Both survivors, both injured survivors being found. And I think they're gonna really want to try and just have the longest chase possible here. But the box does need to be solved, and that is gonna make it pretty much impossible for this chase to last. And most likely just gonna make it impossible for them to pop any more generators. This is the injured survivor going for the box here, so can just go ahead and walk over and go for a slug play, and make it pretty much impossible for them to do much else. And that would be kind of the GG's. Does force a locker to buy his team a little bit of time. But I wonder if they're angling to pop the main building generator, or if they're going to go for the pickup onto their teammate. They did go for the pickup. So they are definitely trying to fight for something a little bit better than a 4K2, but Zaka is just making it pretty much impossible. And does get the chain onto Gree, which does put him in the deep wound. Definitely, once again, complicates things for the survivors. Finds Gree trying to be a bit funny, sitting on the pallet, mending, but Zaka just goes for a swing, and with the desync still in play, I think that Ace took a hit that he did not expect to hit. So Zaka searching for the survivor here now. The Ada just trying to tie things up, close this game out. And there is a lot of gen push here on main, and does find her. Quite unfortunate. Like, this generator got so high progress so many times, but unfortunately just a few blunders there here and there mean that they are not able to pop this generator. This will be a 4K3. Given there's no bleed outs or hatch escapes or anything like that, of course. But it is quite surprising to me that they never went for the cleanse of the crowd control. I feel like that crowd control, like when you play against Cenobite, your best bet, you know, is running the main building as much as you can. Just for as long as you can. But with crowd control up, that makes it virtually impossible. You know, you've just ran all these windows, and now they are all blocked, so you have to abandon the main building entirely. And you have to play much unsafer pallets, unsafer tiles, and just unfortunately doesn't work well. And Ada does go into the locker, so yeah, this will be a 4K3. There's a chance GreeZero might bleed out, but it will just be on Zaka to go find them. But yeah, that crowd control was just sitting on the water tower. I feel like that is the one most, that's the only consistent totem spawn on this map. It's always there. I guess maybe they were afraid of Penti, but I feel like at a point they knew about Ku, and I definitely feel like it might just be better to just get rid of that totem early game, and then, you know, get rid of Penti as fast as possible and just deny him his perks. But I am not certain if the box shows people on the ground. It might. I don't think it did. So still searching for Gree. Running out of time here. It would be pretty bad if Gree were to bleed out just because of the point system. So, but Gree kind of just walking around mid-map means that Zaka will be able to find him. And this will be the confirmed 4K3, so setting up a really hard win con for Team Vicinal here. I think they're really gonna have to, at the very least, 4K so that they can make up some point diff in the second match in their killer pick. But we will have to see when we get back here shortly if they can manage a result that strong against Eternal here. Alright, everybody, we are back in on match number 2, set number 2, and we're going to be having G-Bot playing the Cenobite, running a very similar build to Zaka's, just swapping out, oh wait, never mind. Sorry, I have to remember we don't have a delay anymore, these things, I can't reveal builds anymore, but it is a very similar build. The survivors of Eternal already know about the crowd control. It looks like, despite them not getting in a chase, they have already procced crowd control twice now. And yeah, it is procced on the Shek window. Nightlight trying to get away and from the Shek building, but not able to make it. G-Bot sees it coming and is able to just cut him off and get the down. So getting a nice early down here. Very good start for G-Bot, exactly what you want. They did solve the bugs across the map, so that will be in the background for at least a little while. Crowd control does get cleansed across the map, and so far, pretty good start for both sides here. They may not have a gen done, but they did get that crowd control out of the way. Painrez did proc and interrupt this Gallows generator, I want to say, I believe. G-Bot will be able to control this for the time being. And honestly, there's a lot of middle generators here. A lot of these gens are quite patrollable from within Gallows. And even if they get the unhook, it's not the end of the world. You can kind of just zone Nightlight back into the Gallows area. But yeah, they have these 2 mid-gens, and then upstairs 6, and then Gallows, and this gen right next to them. So they might just be working main and 1 right now, and letting those mid-gens sit for later, but is constantly pressuring Dan off of this generator here. And does head back to hook. Somebody was able to sneak in and get the rescue. Zaka here to take a nice hit for Nightlight, able to prevent him from going down. And these two are just going to make it to the shack pallet together. So with that shack pallet coming down, that is going to buy our survivors a lot of distance to the other side of the map. So really well played. I was saying that, yeah, Gbot could just zone them into the gallows area, but they played that perfectly. So that is not going to happen. Nightlight is going to be able to make it all the way to the main building, and without crowd control in play, that is not where you want to chase. So Gbot going to have to completely abandon abandon that tunnel out and just head back to this area. Does find the injured survivors, so that is at least something good for Nightlight here. I was going to say misses, but Zaka accidentally dodging right into the chain, meaning you will get it down. And that will be another pain res. If he's lucky, he will stop that generator that Dan is working on, but we will see if the pain res comes through in time, and it looks like it will, so... Poked way deep back in this corner. Did get rid of some of these stronger resources that prevented him from getting that tunnel out. Did get rid of the shack pallet, so it should be a lot easier to... sort of pressure these survivors back into the gallows area. Does not get that hit. Unfortunately, not able to do what Zaka did last game and hit them through the pallet there. Going to head back to Look now right as they pull Zaka. And that mid-gen will most likely go, but they can always still hold this 3-gen area, but doesn't really try to go around, just accepts the hit from Spitz, lets them both unzone themselves, and missing that chain does mean that they will make it to the main building here, away from this 3-gen on Gallows, and unfortunately puts his chain upstairs, so not going to be able to get this chain down here for a tag. Spitz not needing it quite yet. We'll make another loop around the fence here, but head-on actually coming through. Nobody saw him get into that walker, so the head-on buying Spitz a ton of distance here. Gonna run into the bot side of the map towards Water Tower. That pallet is already gone, so only having this LT here, but does dodge the chain, so just gonna be applying a 50, gets away with it, and now, finally, we do see that hit tank actually coming through when Spitz really truly needs it, and buys him distance all the way into the top side. The hit tanks are quite impressive because, a lot of teams, you know, they give hit tanks when they don't really need it, you know what I mean? But you notice that the survivors here, literally, they milk as much time as they can from the map, from the resources, from the head-on, and then afterwards, then they go for that, hit tank when it's absolutely needed. Chase back onto Nightlight here, does hit this chain, but I'm not certain he'll get the tag. He does, and that is going to be 4 survivors injured. And as I say that, Zaka does get reset, so down to 3. Trying to go for a mind game on the main building here, but nobody... oh, never mind. Nightlight kind of sort of falling for it, but unfortunately still going to be able to make this distance to this front main pallet. And does get hit. A really powerful hit over the pallet. So might be looking to hook basement here now in the center of all these generators. This might be a little bit easier to pressure for Gbot here than that back hook, since it is far more difficult to save from. And it's a lot more difficult to body block for somebody out of the basement. If they have already eaten their deep wound. And these 3 generators that he's kind of patrolling here are, they are very patrollable. I mean, he can literally walk up to any of them. Goes to the chain, but misses it. Dan showing himself here. And if they give a tag there, while he is patrolling this basement, that might be, that would be pretty bad. That it would be the opposite of what they, want. So they are just playing their distance right now, denying a tag, and just pushing the 3 generators that are kind of surrounding him here. But I don't think that with him being able to walk and push so much, they shouldn't pop these generators before Nightlight dies. But they do sell the box here just to make their 3v1 a little bit easier. And so long as nobody is hiding in this basement here, it looks like this will be the death for Nightlight at 2 generators remaining. Gonna walk over to Spitz here, who I think has Scene Partner, which is actually one of my new favorite perks, so I'm really happy to see it here. Being ran on a Cenobite set. And this generator is really close, so trying to prevent it from popping. Spitz not losing the 50 here. And somebody actually pops it underneath his nose, so still not getting the tag here. Spitz doing a beautiful job on this horrible pallet. And G-Bot is going to be resigning to break it, and now going to head back away from this area. The thing is, because the survivors did such a good job of denying that tag while Nightlight was in basement, even though they kind of have a 3-gen here, and even though there's only 3 survivors, they set themselves up so well for this 3v1 that it doesn't really matter. They can just play their distance and get on these gens, and eventually the one of them will break and pop, and that will be Eternal popping all 5 generators. What would need to happen is for G-Bot to be able to get a hit here, but so far not happening. Not gonna get that hit to the pallet. Really just needs to get tags and generate pressure, but with this with Dan running kind of edge map here, and we know that those 2 survivors were on that generator, yeah, we are going to be seeing it pop, so unfortunately not able to generate pressure fast enough. But we will see the down onto Dan here. I think more than likely we will see a I believe a 7 stage here. And yeah, G-Bot is just carrying Dan all the way across the map to this far hook, away from the doors, and I don't know, we might see Eternal go for some crazy double save, but I think more than likely they will just take the outs. But hey, a 2k7 is a very respectable result. Definitely not bad. That's for your killer player, that's kind of a really good result to get against a team like this. So performed well, but unfortunately that 4k3 is going to just make it so hard to match these points in the second set. But we are going to be going over to an unknown set here very shortly with Vicinal on the killer once again on their killer pick, so we will be back shortly. Alrighty guys, we are back in on set number 2. Going to be having D-Bot on Killer once again. Playing Unknown for his team, and we are going to be playing it on the Cold Tower. So, Cold Tower is a bit bugged right now, but they did decide to just go through with the current map choice. So, finds Dan here on the edge map, but not out of position. Has that sprint burst available to get him to a tile, and does hit that infection. So with that pallet coming down, I think we'll be seeing a hit here, but actually does not hit it. A bit greedy. Means that Dan will be able to make it all the way down the back to the tile. And tries to TP to catch him off guard, but Dan is just too aware. Not going to be giving a tag here. I think that was so greedy to go for that window hit. I think he would have been much safer to go for that infection hit, but that does not come through. So going to be switching targets entirely. Finds a lot of progress here. Ruin no longer a factor, and that I don't even know what the physics of that one was. That just somehow flew a mile away. So not going to get the infection, but Zucka gonna be getting a hit through the pallet. And does have infection up again, but not hitting it. These two generators are already so close, and G-Bot does not want to give them up, so going to go for the another new chase, and does get the hit on the nightlight. And will get the infection, is now able to go back down the map, knowing that he will not be able to get rid of that until they are on the same side of the map again. Oh, and that hits. Tried to fake the window. I was going to say, well, that was a really good fake, but a nasty hit coming through. But not able to get that infection, so Zucka will just crawl over, try and make another spot, but not going to be able to get there, and we are going to probably just see this hook come through. I think they're eyeing that hill up. My guess is that's a pain res, and it is also right next to the Pentimento, so they are flying for it. And for their sake, I hope they make it. They do get the pain res. And Penti is going to be put up, and that is going to make things really complicated for our survivors here. The Penti is literally facing the hook, I mean, and does push the survivor, but they have got to get the survivor off the hill, so might be worth it to try and maybe go for a double save. I'm not too certain what their plan is, because Penti, I mean, is just brutal. Does put the TP onto the generator, and they do have 3 generators that are almost done. And they do go for the reset on the nightlight, so he will probably try and get his infection off, and then, like I said, my guess is that we will see a double save. Yep, and that is what they're trying to do. Not getting that infection, quite unfortunate. And it is not going to be a trade, it is just going to be the successful double save. All the survivors in one line. I am not certain if, oh, borrowed time is a lot. I was going to say, I'm really surprised that she's still, giving a hit here, but I think, I was thinking maybe DS or something, but it actually just was that borrowed time. And that is Ace going down as well. I would imagine Nightlight is on top of that Penti right now as we speak, trying to get it out of the way. But G-Bot's still going to carry this survivor up to this hookup here. And yeah, Penti is now gone, so that does make their lives a lot easier. This hook means far less now. But it has brought a lot of pressure for G-Bot, getting multiple injuries, and getting rid of some of the gen pressure they had, I think, on 7. But right now, because of the results of the last games, I think that it is very important that G-Bot does 4K here. I mean, he really needs a 4K to help him make up those points, but this survivor is just flying down the map, I think, with Babysitter. And yeah, it does just decide to completely switch off here. finds Nightlight. He did greed this pallet earlier, so it is still available. Does hesitate a little bit there. Not going to be able to get the hit. Will get rid of his infection, unfortunately. A little bit of impatience. Nightlight giving a good juke does mean that he will be fine for the time being. And all the survivors getting reset across the map. I mean, I think this is going to be a really nice comeback. I mean, they handled that situation so well, because I think for other teams it might be kind of one of those really complicated situations, but they just handled it perfectly, so. And Nightlight does get his infection off once again. Doing a great job juking around these tiles. I really think that he is going to need a down quite soon here. Does get the infection once more. And hits him through the pallet. Unfortunately, not able to drop it in time. That will be the down coming through, and this will be another pain res most likely. Unless all of G-Bot's pain reses are topside, but yeah, it looks like there's not a pain res on the bottom side here that G-Bot is able to utilize. So this will just be a third fresh hook, and that's pretty much it. That's all G-Bot has right now. I mean, they get the unhook for free, and it looks like they're gonna get the reset as well. Only getting the infection on one of the survivors. Another generator pops across the map. And yeah, like I said, it is just, you know, he has those 3 fresh hooks, but they're just 3 fresh hooks. Nobody is close to death hook. There is no heavy gen lock. Penti is no longer available, so you're playing with 1 perk, and it is just so complicated to generate a lot of pressure at this moment. Alright, using that balance landing, gonna make the window.
You're gonna see this.
And she will be taking it to this 4 lane now. Not gonna have the range to get the infection. Instead will go all the way through again. Causes G-Bot to miss, and greeting this so well. Not going to give a tag. She will make this window now. And I cannot help but think those 2 generators across the map are about to pop any second. Tries to go to the hit to the pallet, but Zaka does get it down in time. And, wait, what? I think Zaka ran into him, but I don't think G-Bot noticed, so, that is going to still be the down, and that will be the 4th hook stage of the game, but this is not pain res anymore, so I think that, they will most likely pop that last generator. Yep, there it goes. And with the gates pretty spread out, I think they do have a good chance of getting a 5 stage here. You do see Dan fast vaulting across the map. You also see, I think that is, I'm not certain what survivor that is. But they are pushing that door, and while they're pushing it, the save does come through across the map, and they also get the full reset in the basement. Does not get tagged there quite yet. It gets tagged right now. And does scare our Jake a little bit there, trying to go for the dispel. And we will see if these survivors can actually manage a 4 out. They actually get Zaka reset again. This is also the balanced landing, so I think a really high chance that that this is going to be the 4-man out. I mean, that teleport is not up. They cannot cut them out quite yet. Trying to, but oh, and it's going to be very close. But nope, Dan is here to give the hit tank. So yeah, that is going to be 4 survivors walking out the door. Just a really hard win con going into the 2nd set here. For Vicinal. So we'll be back shortly with Vicinal serves, playing it out, see what kind of result they can get next. Alright guys, we are back in on, I'm pretty certain, the final match. Don't think there's any way for this to really bring up and clap points here, but I'm certain they will want to put forward the absolute best result they can, going against Nightlight's Unknown here. Does find agree on the front of the main building, but not able to get that infection quite yet. Gonna be running to this filler pallet. And is able to get that infection, not getting a stun, but will drop the pallet, and he's gonna now be going for that hit with the infection here. Does not get it, but has his teleport here to guarantee him the hit, but never mind, it does not guarantee him the hit. Because Gree has some really good net, apparently, so does not win that 50 there, will not be getting a tag, and is just going to abandon our Survivor, our ace, completely. They did get rid of his first totem, which is the Hex Ruin, I believe, is out of the game. And we do see another totem sitting there across the map, but it has not been revealed to the Survivors quite yet. And they do have a lot of pressure here. They're not finding anybody quite yet. This Survivor is running over here to this filler pallet. And actually just chaining them together really nicely. Going ahead all the way to Shack, actually, which is a lot safer. But misses that. The Survivor's doing a really good job of juking, these, what are they called? UVXs very well. Chase now back onto our ace, who does get this pallet drop here. And we see a mind game coming through, but I was gonna say not quite falling for it, but they actually kind of do. And will he be able to get off his infection in time? I don't know if he will. And it is possible that he will die right on top of this Penti, which is really unlucky. This generator is really progressed as well, which is very scary for the survivors. If that generator does not pop and this hook comes through, they might have some issues, but Adam is able to pop that generator. We do see the second generator pop as well. I'm waiting for a third one here. They have a lot of progress on a fourth generator as well. And tries to go for that hit. Very close, but it does not work. And Nightlight is going to go put up his Penti now. And if they've learned anything from the last game, I think that they're going to have to go and do exactly what Eternal did and try and go for a double save here, just so that he cannot sit on top of that unhook for sit on top of that hook for free with Penti up. So this has a lot of progress, but not quite enough. Trying to bait Adam into going for that pull himself. And he does actually get caught out. Coup de grace, getting him a hit that he otherwise might not have gotten. And we do see the scratch marks leading up. Ada is going to be able to get this unhook for free. And for our ace's sake, I really hope that our Ada has borrowed time. But it looks like he might just go for the fresh hook here. Since this survivor is on the Penti, and yeah, unfortunately, not able to get away from that Penti. That is still going to be that Hex Pentametal up and available for our killer to slow this game down a little bit, but just going for the slug here. Oh, and trying to use the coup, but the greed actually works out, and G-Ball will not be taking a hit here. They do get Slasher up. And they really need to get that Penti out of the game. They're doing such a fantastic job with these chases and such, but... Oh, but G-Bot having... not G-Bot, excuse me. A Slasher having a 99 SB does mean that... he will deny the down for a little bit longer, dies under this pallet, and somebody's actually there for the pallet save, so they are doing such a good job. It is actually really impressive here. Nightlight gonna have to try and make some sort of comeback here, but this gen spread is really nice. Once they get that Penti out of the game, it is just going to be, I want to say, just borderline impossible for our survivors, or for our killers, excuse me. Is the down. They do get Penti out of the game. And from here on out, it should be pretty smooth sailing for our survivors. The only thing that might get in their way is the Hex Totem, but as long as they work these gens pretty fast, they should be okay. But this generator has a ton of progress, and there's nothing really to slow it down. We do hear that notification go up as the Ada gets pulled across the map, so... And finds Gree0 trying to get rid of this TP here. Does drop the eye filler. And is going to take that tag with the UVX. And just playing this eye filler for the time being, I think there's a good chance that unless Nightlight slugs this, that generator on 10 will pop if those two survivors kind of just ran back to it. But it seems like Nightlight's just gonna hook in basement and try his best to match that last result or do better than it. And that is the last generator popping. G-Bot getting the stun here. I really think that he's gonna want at least one more hook stage, just for like pride's sake. But he does get the infection on a G-bot by teleporting to that. So I think we might be seeing it down here. But that does not come through, so G-bot going all the way over here to this pallet gym. And trying to play patient on the pallet, but the coup de grace will come through. And that is not going to be a guaranteed down yet, since we do have the sprint burst around and we have that background player around. And yeah, they're both here, I mean... This might be a hit with Coup. Yeah, it is the hit with coup de grace. And Gree does run in to get this, pickup here. And it is the down once again using that coup de grace. Looks like he will be able to get the tag on the ace as well. And gets that infection as well. So I think we are going to be seeing this pickup here now on the G-bot. So unless... Oh! How... What? Where did that flashlight come through? Where was he? I'm so confused as to where he was at. That was almost a blind. That didn't even look like it was going to be a blind. Because you didn't even see the survivor on his screen. But we do get this 4th hook stage on the G-bot. It was a fresh hook. They does kind of just go away from that basement hook, wait to see if somebody will, unhook that survivor out of basement, just so that, he can hit them with his last perk, but they might see it coming. They do get, 3-0 reset. And they're actually just taking the 3-man out, so that will be the 1k6. So that was really, really well played by Vicinal. Unfortunately, it will not be enough to make up that point difference. That was, I mean, sorry, excuse me, Eternal won both sets anyways, so unfortunately, it is not going to be enough, but it was still an incredible survivor performance from them. They played extremely well, but Eternal, unfortunately, just played it better. So, Eternal going to be taking this 2-0 win, and we will be back shortly. I think we have another game, I want to say at 8, and then another game at 10, so we will see you guys a little bit later tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and GG's to both teams.